Thank you for joining us for another episode of Team Member Spotlight. This is an opportunity for us to get to know other members of our team who we might not work with on a daily basis, and today is no exception. And I can't wait to introduce them. So I am Jeremy Moser. I am the Director of Communications, and I'm alongside VP of External Affairs, Melissa Kelly.
Hello, everyone.
And today's guest comes to us from Monroe. He is an alum of Fairfield University, so he is a STAG, and he has been a board member for the last 2 years, but recently took over the role as our board chair. He is Tom Catropa. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We really appreciate the time. And I guess, what I'd like to do is start, really simply just getting an understanding of why you decided to come aboard Goodwill. What inspired you to be a part of it?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's something I thought about quite a bit. And so I work for a company called EY. We're a public accounting firm. And our mission is to build a better working world. And that means something a little different to all kinds of people, depending on what it is you're passionate about and what it is you do. And so the firm really inspires us to go out and create a difference in our communities. And so whether that's helping with Habitat for Humanity or helping things like Goodwill and other nonprofits or just creating a better place for people, they encourage us to do that. And so as we've had those discussions internally, and I've had discussions with my teams, Goodwill kind of came up as something that was interesting to me. More, and what drove me to it really was the ability for Goodwill to take our community and help people who need it. What I think that someone, Melissa, it might have been you, told me, it's let's do a hand up and not a handout. And those are things that stick with me. And I say, really for the hundreds of thousands of people out there who have a tough time finding gainful employment and really having a sense of purpose in the morning to go somewhere and make a difference, I thought was something that was fascinating. And so I looked a bit into the Goodwill mission. What was it about? I see Goodwill all over the place as I'm driving. And I get asked a lot. I think I asked my family at one point, what is it that Goodwill does? I know it's a nonprofit, but what are they doing? I have to go in there, I can buy things, but where's my money going to? And so getting a better understanding of what that is and what the mission did, the more I learned, the more I was interested in it. And then I turned to a friend of mine, Sean Kane, and said, gee, how can I help? And he said, let me take you in. And we went down to Bridgeport. He showed me around, and I kind of fell in love with the idea of retail and fell in love with the idea of all the cool things and the cool people that we have working so hard day in and day out to make a difference in all these communities, and my community in Connecticut here. And it was just something I had to be a part of. And 2 years later, here I am.
I love it. Well, thank you. We really appreciate the fact that you've been on the board, but also taking on such a huge leadership role as the board chair most recently. And so thank you for all that you do to serve us and the people of Connecticut.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So as you settle into this new position, can you talk about some of the things you want to accomplish during your term?
My number one thing I want to accomplish is getting out and meeting people. And so each week, every other week, members of the executive team take me out to various stores. I've been to Oxford, I've been to Milford, I've been to Bridgeport. And so I've been to a bunch of stores, and we have the rest of the stores already slated and scheduled for, and we go for lunch. Ken Bennett usually joins me. Jeff usually joins me, and there's no agenda. And it's really to go and say thank you to all the people we have working for us. We do a lunch. I love it. I love pizza, and that's what we do. So I don't know if there's always pizza there. I don't know if that's because I like pizza so much. But it's really, it's really cool to see the different stores, to see the different characteristics of each of the stores, because they are all unique. But most importantly, I love seeing the people. I like talking about what are we doing well? What do we need to improve on? And that could be anything from store signage to, I heard someone, I think it was in Milford, was saying, hey, gee, it'd be nice to have the compactor a little closer. And so anything and everything is under the sun, but I want people to know that, one, I take this role really serious. Two, that I really do want to hear from all the people and that they feel empowered to say, hey, here's what's going really well. Here's what we can improve upon. And I want them to know that they're supported not only by their executive team, but also we're taking it seriously at the board level. And so, we start off just about every board meeting with a quick debrief of where we've been as a board, and myself and others have joined me, where we've been, what we heard, and more importantly, what are we doing about it? So how are we handling the feedback that we get? We can't solve everything, I'll be honest. I'd love to, but it's just, that's not realistic. But things that we can do and implement, or policies that we can change to make everybody's life a little bit better when they come into work and put a pep in everyone's step, is my number one priority. And supporting that at the board level is something I'm passionate about doing. And we are following up on those every month.
I love hearing that.
I was just going to say, like, music to my ears. The culture is such an important thing. And people, want to know that they are important and they're valued no matter what position they have, right? We're all an instrumental part in this mission. So that was, I couldn't have scripted that answer better for you.
I wish you had. I might have said it better, but it's true. So I grew up, my father was a small business owner. I've worked at places like Subway, and I was a landscaper for a lot of years. And so I have taken a bit of every experience that I've had in my professional career and learned, whether it was through school or through work, and working with different types of people. But really making your voice heard is something that I always think was instrumental in feeling like you can effectuate change. And I'm here to tell everybody of the Goodwill community here, you all have a voice and you can all effectuate change. There's channels for you to do that. And I encourage, emails directly to me if you don't feel like you're getting the traction that you need, and we'll make sure we can do what we can to really make this the best place to work. We want to attract talent. We want to retain talent. We want to make sure that there's avenues for advancement for everybody, because that only means we're going to have a happier environment. We're going to have happier customers, and we're going to drive a better mission.
Well, there's a reason that you're in this position, Tom, and we greatly appreciate it. And I do hope that we'll also be able to get you into our administrative offices and to some of the human services areas as well. But I know that we have 28, I believe, locations in retail. So there's a lot to see and a lot of people to meet. But we are hopeful that we'll be able to get you to some of the other locations too.
You will see me, I promise.
Awesome. And so speaking of kind of jobs throughout this organization, I'm curious if you could swap jobs with anyone in our organization, what position, I should say, what would it be and why would you choose that?
Well, it would be Melissa's job. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't want Melissa's job. It's funny. So every store that I've been to so far, I've asked if I could use the pricing gun, and I've been told no. It's the only place in Goodwill that I've been told no. So what I'm trying to do, I think I told the folks in Monroe this, that I'm going to come back with enough experience where somebody will let me use that pricing gun. So that's one.
There you go.
But I tell you, I watch the folks bringing in donations, and I'm tired just watching them. I mean, the amount of, and Milford comes to mind, the amount of donations that we're getting, and seeing people running back and forth and using the process in the back, and trunk to floor in 24. I learn all these things. And so I'm tired just looking at people. I wish I had that much energy. I don't, but truly, I think just understanding all the different pieces of what it is we do is, I couldn't pick one, to be honest. I mean, I think they're all interesting in their own right. And I told, and I was encouraging, folks that I was talking to in Danbury, I think a few weeks ago, let's try all the roles. And I think how people circulate through roles, I was talking to the store manager there and understanding her experience, and she actually came from a different store. And so coming from different stores, again, with all unique characteristics. Some are bigger than others, some have more donations than others, some have later hours than others, and when the foot traffic comes in, how to manage that, how to put in best practices, and really learning from one another, and doing all these cool jobs and learning about it. It's not easy. I'll tell you, it's not easy. And but I'm determined to getting that pricing gun and having some fun. I don't know now with the new POS system if we have the pricing gun
Wait,
anymore.
new
But
POS. You got to get in there soon, Tom.
Well, thank you for that.
So as we approach September, which is the time that team members were given some communication that we may be looking to a new, more permanent leader being in position, can you give us an update on the CEO search and what team members can expect coming?
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. I have a call Thursday, so today's the 9th, so that's tomorrow on 10th. With a recruiting firm. We've had a few discussions. We put together what an ideal candidate looks like. And so Jeff is gone September 1st. Much to my dismay, I've really enjoyed my time working. He's been great to me. But we've made it clear to each other that September 1st is the date that transition will happen. And so I hope there's more to come on that. The search is starting. We have a committee set. We've had 4 meetings now, and we're really talking about, what are the characteristics and qualities that we want in our new leadership. I have also talked to the executive committee to make sure that their views are heard on what they want in a leader as well. And so making sure that it's the right fit for everybody is most important to me. And so we have human services, we have a big retail piece of the organization that we had to think about. And has to be somebody who can drive both value and benefit to both sides. And so that's having relationships in the state, in the government. It's also being able to manage a retail operation the size of Goodwill here. And so it's not an easy job to fill, but we're confident that we have the right partners who will vet the right candidates, and we're casting a nationwide search. And so this is not people that are just, in our community here in Connecticut. If the right fit is in San Francisco, and we'll bring them here and make sure it's right. But I want to make sure that we're methodical in who we choose, that a candidate is here for the long term, and that it's somebody who is passionate about, 1, our mission, and 2, making Goodwill the best it can be. And so getting various inputs from various stakeholders about what that means and what's important to them is certainly will factor into the decision that we make. So it's happening. More updates will come as we know more, but I'm hoping really by the end of July, we have it down to a few candidates, and we know what we're looking at.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that update. I know everybody will appreciate having that, and we look forward to see what's coming our way. It's exciting times for Goodwill.
It is exciting times. We're looking at our footprint. We're really excited. We can't get enough talent. There's a war on talent. So I hope everybody who's listening, stay with us. We're trying to do the right things, and really, don't be afraid to let your comments be heard through the executive team. We do talk about it, I assure you. And we have been talking about putting some programs into place around having each team member who work in the various places to come actually talk to us at the board level. And so Melissa and I have talked about this in the past, and we're trying to get programs so that, 1, we can make sure we give recognition where it's due. 2, we leverage our teams and learn from each other. But most importantly, if people have a desire to hear what we talk about at the board level and to have a voice, I'm all for it, and I welcome that. And so I challenge everybody to think about, what is it that you can tell us that we should be doing better? We certainly want to know what we're doing well, but we can improve on things. And then for folks who do want to come present at the board level in whatever capacity, I welcome that as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
it's so great to hear.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it.
You have a team of 1,000 team members that are super passionate for what we do. And, hearing you talk about the various roles just within retail, we have so many unsung heroes every day. And, but it happens everywhere, right? It happens in our administrative offices. It happens in human services. It's really, you have to be passionate about who we are and what we stand for to be in it every day. So it's great to hear it out of your mouth. And, this is we're on our way. There's I think change happening. I think we're all feeling it, and we're all anxious and excited. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, hopefully we can take the mystery out of this, and I hope to continue these chats. Hopefully you'll have me on again. But thinking about, nothing excites me more than when I go into a store and I hear that people have been there 14, 15, 16 years, multiple people who I'm talking to. I love to hear it. And then also when I talk to new team members who, and this happened in Bridgeport, someone came up to me and said, I've been looking for 4 years for a job. And Goodwill gave me an opportunity. I sort Legos and I love it every day. And I'm so passionate about it. Nothing gets me going than hearing that kind of stuff. It's what we're here to do. And it's core to our mission. And I think, I want to make it so everybody hears those opportunities. And I hope everybody I meet says I'm a Goodwiller for 15, 20 years, and we can get everybody to be on that path. So, right.
I love it.
Sure,
I love it.
For sure.
All right. So we're going to segue just a couple more questions for you. And these are just a little more fun, just so we get to know you a little bit better. So you're talking to two pizzaholics here, and we're pretty passionate about our pizza. So I'm curious, what's your favorite pizza joint in Connecticut?
I was rating the stores on the pizza they gave us, but we had Planet Pizza. But I'm not going to
go
say
with your
Pepe's.
family.
I know. You know what? I think I'd go to Salerno's on Barnum Avenue in Stratford.
Right near my house, Tom.
Oh, I love it. I love it there. And
Yes.
their cavatelli is. I gotta go.
Cavatelli and broccoli. That's what I get.
Yeah. Really?
They're good.
I have to warn you though, if we bring in somebody from San Francisco or another part of this country, they might not understand or truly appreciate Connecticut pie, which is the best in the country.
Yeah, they don't know anything about pizza in San Francisco.
No. What was your first job?
My first job, I was a landscaper at a church in Stratford. I was a janitor / landscaper. I did it for a lot of years. I think like 7 years, all through high school and a little bit before. And I loved it. It was my favorite job. I got outside during the summers and I got to wax floors. And so Ken Bennett, he'll probably blush when he hears this, but every store I go into, I check out the floors. So for those stores I haven't been into yet, you're on notice. First thing I look at.
That's backbreaking work. Gosh.
It was fun. It was great.
Awesome. All right. And so we know that you got a pretty demanding job, and a demanding job here with us at Goodwill. So when you have a rare day off, where are we going to find you? What are you doing?
On the golf course.
Thought you might say that.
I'm an avid golfer. Yeah, I have a 6-year-old, and I'm trying to get him to love the sport as much as I do. It gets us outside. It gets my phone away from me. And we can just kind of go out there and have some fun. So that's where you'd find me, hopefully with my 6-year-old in tow.
And how many mulligans are you typically taking when you
A lot.
Okay, all right.
He looks at me.
You and I could probably play.
Yeah, he'll look at me and be like, Dad, come on, that's all you hit it? And I'm like, well, that's all I got. I'm getting older. He goes, I can hit it further than you. Not yet, but it's coming.
Oh man, that's great. Well, I think that does it for the questions that we have. But I did want to leave some time just in case there was anything else you wanted to add to this to team members who are going to watch this. If there was anything else you wanted to add, now's the time.
Yeah, no, I think you have a great executive team. I just want, again, I'll reiterate, your voices mean something to us. We want to hear your opinions, good and bad. Most of the time we always hear bad, but it's okay to say, hey, here's what's good. We're evaluating things every day. And with new board members coming on, I have discussions with them about all kinds of things around locations, around hours, around how we do what we do, around the rising minimum wage, and how we can make sure that we're constantly enticing people to want to work here and rewarding them for all the hard work that they do. So we've been asking a lot of questions, the executive team, getting a lot of information. The more data we have, the better decisions we can make. And I would say too, is we're not in the stores all day. And so we can sit in a room and think about the best idea that looks to be on a spreadsheet or on a piece of paper or what we're told. But I think the best ideas come from those who are doing this day in and day out. And we just have to make sure we're getting that feedback so we can make sure that change gets pushed through. So please, we really mean what we say is let's hear that feedback, bubble it up. And if you're not feeling you're getting heard, email me directly. I'm happy to share my email with anybody.
Excellent. Well, I will try and find a way to add in your email somewhere in this video, so that way people can do so. So I'll call it a wrap for Melissa and myself, along with Tom Catropa, our board chair. We thank you for watching, and we'll have another team member spotlight sometime soon. Thank you so much.
Go Goodwill. All right. Thanks, everybody.